Hi viewers, it's Lexi again. I need to think of a better suited greeting. If you have suggestions or comments, please post them below and I'll reply to them. So this update is for the 3rd and 4th week of October and the almost half week at the end of the month, since the 31st falls on a Tuesday. There will be no other updates for the rest of the month of October. Anywho, on to the news. Super happy because I'm now gainfully employed. Yay, more funds coming in. Bad news is, this means I now have a bit less time to work on my comics. So there'll be maybe one comic every 2 weeks or as I can. I've updated the description for the comics so it's a bit more specific. Fair warning, I plan to have future comics that will have or involve possible triggers, and with that I'll have a trigger warning first after the title, so if you don't wish to have an issue or see something that might upset you, then you can skip. It'll also be in the title. Let me be clear here. When I say trigger warning, I mean a trigger is in an external action that causes a person to have an anxiety attack or mental trauma due to this sight or sound or something external. One of the definitions to be specific provided is a trigger or trauma trigger is an experience that causes someone to recall a previous traumatic memory or experience. Although the trigger itself need not be frightening or traumatic, it can be directly or indirectly, superficially reminiscent of an earlier traumatic incident. Best example, one of my comics might have a little blood or scary face, and for some people that can be an issue. What I do not mean is a trigger that, I'm so offended and bothered by this phrase or post that you did that I have to rant and rave, or social justice warrior. That is what I do not mean. So please, if you're offended, don't take it out on the comic. Come directly to me in a polite and calm manner, because if you come at me with anything but, I'm going to shut you down. Sorry. If you feel the need to run your mouth or post something hateful, then it's going to be ignored or disregarded, because that's not how you deal with things. This is not a place for bad behavior or trolls. Like I said, it'll be shut down. This comic that I draw and write for, and these YouTube postings are specifically meant to be informative and keep people updated and informed about what's going on and how some people experience depression or mental disorders. It is not a feeding ground for trolls. I do apologize if this comes off as rough, because for me personally, I've experienced such things from people that just don't understand. Or those that wish to help, but because they don't have any experience, it goes poorly. So, again, I apologize if this comes off as rude, but for those of that deal with this on a daily basis of the mental, to try and be inclusive, mental or invisible disorders, you might understand. Or you do. I'd rather prevent possible issues now than have to deal with it later. Thank you for understanding. For the rest of the updates, I have one half of the line work done for the current comic for the 2 to 3 panels, and trying to finish that. If you haven't noticed, most of my comics are usually 2 to 3 panels, not including the title or the disclaimer or the links in it. The plan is to at least have 3 or more panels per comic, which might take a bit longer, but I'd rather post quality comics than just throw stuff out there haphazardly and doesn't look right to me. I think that's about it for this update. I apologize for the small rant again, but I wanted to clarify what a trigger is, or is defined as, versus the meme version, so to prevent future issues. Most of you might understand it's no fun when people feel the need to come out and straight criticize you for something they don't get. And let me another thing to make clear: there's criticism, and then there's constructive criticism. The difference is constructive criticism is, okay, I don't like this, but this is why, but here's something I think you can do to improve it. Whereas criticism, I think this is dumb, with no reason or explanation. I wanted to make that difference clear. There's a If you're going to criticize, please be constructive or critique about it, which is very similar. Final update, I plan to have future episodes of YouTube with captions, and I'm learning how to do that. I think that's about it. So thank you for watching and or listening, and have a wonderful day.